Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to show you how to change the reverse button on your Lamborghini Gallardo to make it look from this to this. And there's two ways that you can do this. One way is with a vinyl piece of sticker, and the other way is with actually replacing the button. I'm going to show you how to replace the button because a lot of people have actually had issues with this button in the past, and I don't want it to prevent you from actually being able to drive your car and actually being able to put it in reverse. So if your button looks like this, I'm going to recommend that you actually replace it. So I'm going to show you how to change it out on my Superleggera. And the thing is that this works for any Gallardo from any year. Even if you have a Super Trofeo Stradale or a second gen Superleggera, it's exactly the same. So let's jump right into it and I'll show you exactly what you need to know. So even though this is a Superleggera, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it on a base Gallardo so you can actually remove this panel. And don't worry about this. I know there's a missing trim piece right here and you might say, what is going on right there? What I'm going to show you in this DIY is not going to interfere with what I have removed right here. And I'm actually developing something for this car at the moment. I can't tell you exactly what it is yet. All I can tell you is that it's something that is a big problem on these cars with the E Gear. And I'm really working hard trying to solve it. So stay tuned for that. I'm pretty excited to share that with you. Okay, so the biggest hurdle you're going to have with this is taking this trim piece out right here. Mine is already loose, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to get it out. It's held in with two tabs up here that you have to wedge in to get the this little piece in, and then there's two spring clips right here and right here. What I recommend is you get a trim removal piece and you wrap it in like painter's tape, and then you're going to want to pry behind here and right here. And if that doesn't happen, you're going to want to get the trim removal piece and gently pry behind here in this area, very gently. And if you don't feel comfortable, you can put a little bit of painter's tape right here. And I would also couple that prying with pulling force with your other hand. So I would gently put it behind there and then pull it at the same time. And these are spring loaded. So this is why I'm stressing this so much, because you have to get these both out, and then you have to pull it down, and then it comes out. And you can see those two tabs, one right here and then one up there. And then it corresponds with the dash element right there. One right here and one right there. And then correspondingly, you can see the two spring clips. And then you can see the two receptacles for where the spring clips are actually interfaced into. So just go slow, be very careful, and then you'll be able to pull that out. But that's going to be the hardest thing of this whole entire DIY. And it's just very nerve-wracking because these trim pieces are designed to only go in one way and come out one way. And sometimes they're not even designed to come out. So just be very careful. Next, you're going to find a piece of leather. If you have a base Gallardo, it's going to be a piece of leather. I have a piece of Alcantara. And this is also going to be attached to this element that's located right here. For you, you're just going to want to push it out of the way. But for me, I'm going to remove it entirely since I don't have a trim piece right here and I'm working on something. Next, you're going to find two T25 fasteners. One underneath the coolant gauge and then one right underneath the fuel gauge. So now we're on Easy Street. I went ahead and pulled those two screws out and then used a magnetic attachment on a screwdriver to take them out and then secure them outside of the car. And then now I get to pull this dash out. And what we're doing is we're going to move it to the left to access a bolt right here. And then we're going to move it to the right to access a bolt. So I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. And these are an M8. These are an 8mm. So you just get in there for your 8mm socket wrench. And slowly undo that. Got that one. And there's also a washer in there, so be sure to get that as well. I'm actually going to push this to the back and then just let it fall onto the floor. And we're going to do the same thing and move it to the right. If you have the interior trim right here, you might be able to tilt it a little bit backwards and then tilt it this way. Just be careful, go slow. If you want to put painter's tape on the trim strip that's located right here, I recommend that for sure. be enough access. Little magnets help so much on this. Now we just have to take out this little trim piece right here, and there's a spring clip right here, and then it wedges in. So the wedge is up here, and then the spring clip is down here. So we're gonna get our little prying tool. Careful, careful, careful. Pull that out. Then in here we have an H4 hex. And then last but not least, we have a bolt with a 10 mil head here, and then another one right there. And this is super tricky. So first off, I recommend that you pull it down from this angle on both sides, and then just start to wiggle it just a little bit at the same time. This side closest to the radio over there likes to come out first with those little studs that we loosened in here, and then you can pop it out. So you can wiggle it and pull it down and then have access to that stud. And then we can work on this side just like that. And if there's any trick I want to tell you, it's just have so much patience. Okay, like I can't stress this enough. And then there's a connector right here, right on the reverse switch. Let's disconnect that and then put it on the bench. So the switch is just held in with 2 Phillips head screws. And be careful with these because you don't want to strip them out or anything like that. And then for the new switch, be sure that the R is facing in the correct direction. Before you install the switch, be sure to look at the front side of it to make sure that it's indexed correctly. Because I noticed when I installed my switch, it was actually crooked by about 30 degrees. And other people have told me that this is the same issue as well with the replacement switch. So be sure to do that before you screw it in. And if you do have to index it, just rotate it a little bit till it's visually aligned, and then you can screw it in. And those screws are self-tapping that come on the car, so you won't have any issue or need any new hardware or anything like that. So there's 2 more things I want to show you on the car, but if this video is helping you, please give me a like. That lets me know that I'm doing a good job and I'm giving you information that you need to know. So with that out of the way, let's get back on the car and install this switch. And then installation is much the same. Be sure to connect the reverse switch first. And then we're going to work on putting the studs in first, pressing them all the way in carefully. Okay. And then we're going to work on changing that angularity and then putting it in the back, just like that. And then I'm going to get all the fasteners in, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like when we're done. And if you have a panel gap issue, try to make them all loose first. And then if you have a panel gap right here, it's this fastener holding it in. And if you have a panel gap right here, it's this fastener holding it in. And what you can do is you can push it up just like that, tighten this down, and then that should get rid of that panel gap. And then same for the bottom as well. The last thing I want you to know is how to install this trim piece. So make sure to have that leather gaiter in first, and then we can go to install this. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press up into this corner and ensure that those 2 tabs are properly aligned with the top of this trim piece. And you'll know that by knowing that this little, this top part is flush with the plastic. And then you're going to want to press it in, and then we're going to press right here and right here to push in those little spring clips, just gently. And then you'll see that these buttons have to align. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the left side first, align it, and then slowly push it in. Come on, just like that. And then the same with the right side. We're going to pull it down, just go slow, and then gently align it. Perfect. So now that we have everything back installed, the button looks amazing. And I'm so happy that I did this. I don't know why I waited so long to finally do this button, but the fit and finish of this is wonderful, and it makes the interior look brand new. I'm sure you can imagine. So if you want to do this to your car, I really highly encourage it, and I look forward to hearing from you on your experiences on this installation. If this video has helped you, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I really appreciate it, and until next time, thanks.